Yes, people, once again, welcome back to the Den Podcast Nola, Season 1, Episode 10. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm high level.
Ariana Grande.
J Till.
What up, America? It's your boy Hollywood Pompeii, aka Pizzle for Shizzle. My nizzle, you rating the hot sizzle when I drizzle, you dig?
Say, bro, do that again. No, no, that's dope. You helped me out a lot. We normally let people introduce themselves, so that was the best one we didn't have so far. So the
I
season
appreciate
finale.
it. I've been doing it
popped
for
up.
years.
Way to start the season finale.
Yeah.
Facts. So tell us a little bit about Hollywood Pompeii. Where you originally from?
I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York.
Okay.
Yeah, born and raised in Brooklyn. And then when I was about, I want to say 19 years old, I started really moving around. And I ain't never really been in one place too long. New Orleans is probably one of the longest places that I've stood in since my journey at 19.
And how long you been in New Orleans?
It's about 7 years now.
Nice. So what brought you here from Brooklyn, New York?
Man, it's a wild story. I'm gonna try to keep it short.
Nah.
I'm running.
Bro, you're on the season finale, dog.
Yeah, it's a long story. So I had gotten into some trouble with the law. I was living in Pennsylvania. I was married at the time. It wasn't really the best marriage, but it wasn't the worst. It just, we weren't happy. So I had ended up getting caught up in some things, and in order to get out of those legal situations, I had to put myself in certain programs. So I ended up putting myself in a rehab program. I ended up putting myself in a barber school to get my barber license and stuff. And I ended up not using it, but I had to complete the program in order to avoid jail time and all of these things. So once I completed all that and I was able to move around, one of my good friends who I've known for years, he managed Boosie label. He used to do a lot of work with Lil Baby way back in the day when Baby was slinging features for like $700. He worked with Lil Yachty, Rich the Kid. So he's what the industry calls a road runner. And labels would cut him a check to take new artists that they got on the road and, get the feature bag, get the club money, the strip club money, the things that the label don't really want to have their hand in, but the artist still kind of got to do, you know what I mean? So he give me a call and he like, yo, look, you want to hit the road with me? I'm going to be moving around. I got Boosie coming to do some stuff and they just signed this kid named Ant G. So he was like, yo, do you want to go on the road with Ant G? We just finished doing a run about a year ago with like Lil Baby and stuff. So he's like, look, it's going to be the same kind of run. It was the Luca Brasi 3 tour for Kevin Gates. So he was like, yo, Boosie's putting this kid on a tour and Lil Baby's going to be opening everybody. So I'm like, all right, bet, let's go. So I get out there, I'm with him. But the whole time, like, I'm not all the way checked in because I had just came out of a rehab, just came out of barber school. Like, I'm not feeling myself all the way. I'm not getting money how I used to get money. And I'm on the road doing something that I'm not even really used to doing. You know what I mean? Because prior to that, I was on the road, but like it looked like I was doing something, but I wasn't doing that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but this time I was doing that. So I learned a lot being with him. And one of the stops was New Orleans for the tour. So we stop in New Orleans and we walk, and it's me, him, and another friend of mine, and this kid named Ant G. So it's an Italian kid from Boston. Y'all could go look up the video that he shot with Boosie or whatever. So it's this Italian kid with this big ass blonde bun with this big Italian flag all over Bourbon Street, and everybody seeing him all over Say Cheese, and he's hot for the week. You know how that goes,
Right?
So people are recognizing him. So some chick comes up to me, and she's like, "Yo, look, my friend want to talk to your friend." So I'm like, "Oh, y'all seen him on Say Cheese, huh? Like World Star or something? Y'all know Boosie just signed him." And they really didn't know that though. That's not their worlds. So they were like, "Nah, we just she think he cute and his hair look cool."
Right.
So she's like, "You lying? He really signed a Boosie?" I'm like, "Yeah, look." So I pull up the Say Cheese, whatever. So they get to talking, and while they talking, that same girl, I ask her, I'm like, "Yo, look, you mind if I get your number?" So the whole time I'm on the road, I'm on tour. We was about like maybe 6 months in. I never talked to nobody, like no female. My mind wasn't there. But something told me to holler at this, this one chick. So I talked to her, and she's my wife now. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
A Nola girl, huh?
Yeah. So, yeah, so I met her on Bourbon Street with the kid, you know what I mean, and with Boosie's people and stuff like that. And then one thing led to another. And I was still on the road, so she was coming out to see me for 6 months, going to different cities, different states. That credit card, you know what I mean, start getting expensive.
Yeah.
So we go to figure some things out, and then I ended up just moving down here. You know what I mean, and that's how that happened.
The women do it every time.
So ain't about it's about the woman. Like New Orleans will do that too.
Yeah,
Put it like that. He'll do
yeah,
that too.
yeah.
So your rap career, right? That started in New York.
That started in New York. It wasn't too serious in New York. It got more serious when I got to Pennsylvania, but yeah, it started in New York.
Who were some of your early influences in rap?
My very first introduction to hip hop was the Fugees. So the Fugees kind of like they play a real powerful role in my life when it comes to like influence and inspiration and just all of that. And it kind of just takes me back to a place every time. Like when I lose myself and I get lost, or just whatever. Like you know what I mean. I don't feel like me. I could put that on and it just takes me back to that place and it kind of like recalibrates me a little bit. So the Fugees for sure, Wyclef primarily, and then Lauryn Hill. I don't think Wyclef gets the credit that he gets for the sound that a lot of people are using today. You know what I mean? Like the Young Thugs, the Lil Waynes, all of that came from Wyclef, all of it, period. I'll argue with anybody. So, so Fugees for sure. And then that was my introduction. After that, I became a real big Mace fan. Like I just loved Mace. You know what I mean? Everything about Mace, his charisma, his music, his flow, how people gravitated to him. So those are like my earlier influences.
Let me ask you something. Is it true you wrote a letter to Mace?
I wrote a letter to Mace, man.
Stole my question, dog.
That's
He stole my question.
Man, like I think I was like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
I wrote a letter to the Mace, right? And in that, actually, I wrote a letter. The letter was addressed to Puff, like, "Yo, you need to get me next to Mace, like, like, look, I need to be signed with that guy."
Did you ever get to meet Mace?
Nah, I never got to meet Mace.
It's funny you say that, dog, because a lot of people forget how dope of an MC Mace was.
Yeah, Mace.
He was like that.
And before you had Mace and Betha, there was Murder Mace.
Murder Mace, right?
And Murder Mace was a different animal. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Who are some of your Southern influence?
Man, a lot of Southern influences. So first one really is Wayne. Wayne definitely inspired me a lot because I was young when Wayne really started to like pop. Not when he was like superstar Wayne, but I'm talking about like Hot Boys Wayne. You know what I mean? So I was old enough to go to a store and buy a CD at that time or grab the bootlegs from the Africans. And let me tell you, like that whole run invaded New York. You know what I mean? Like really, really invaded New York. So Wayne was definitely one of my biggest Southern influences. Outkast for sure, but that came later in life. But during that Wayne era, I was a real big Snoop fan too. Like so I was bouncing between the South and the West Coast for inspiration at that age. And it really came between Wayne and T.I. I can honestly say around that time. Like, yeah, T.I. But T.I. had a lot of stuff as Tip that a lot of people are not familiar with. Like, that dude could really rap.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking about, like, rap. And, like, not none of this commercial stuff. I'm talking about, like, really rap. And what made me a fan of him is he did something with Sean Paul. And just that whole, during that time, reggae was real big in New York. And I'm Caribbean, you know what I mean? So, like, I just enjoy any kind of Caribbean music. So when I heard that crossover of Southern music and Caribbean music for the first time ever, it was just mind-blowing because nobody was doing anything like that, during that time. So it made me excited to see, where music would go if, we were already heading in that direction that early. So,
yeah, the crazy part about Tip, if you remember that time when he got those charges and he went away for a little while, he was on Plight, like the biggest dude in the game at that time. And when those charges hit, it kind of took him Monday. And he remained relevant. He always was Tip, but he never really reached,
Yeah.
you know, the pinnacle where he was headed to at that point. So that's dope to hear.
Yeah, because the conversations were being had at that very moment. So
at that time, right?
yeah, that definitely made some things stagnant for him,
Yeah.
for sure.
And look, at that time too, the narrative about the ratting thing,
Yeah,
that was big.
yeah.
So
So
I
that's what kind of made it, you know, a little stagnant for him as well. Another huge influence. I'm lying. I can't leave him out. Like he was a real big influence up until he passed away. Was Big Pun. Pun was definitely a big influence for me. Just I'm from New York. I'm Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the dude could rap. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, Pun was definitely it for me.
How would you describe your style?
I don't know. It's just like whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm inspired by. I don't have a particular style, so to say. I don't think I do. I'm not sure. I wouldn't know how to categorize it, to be honest. Cause like 1 minute I'll be talking about what we all talk about, and then another minute, you know, I'll get into like the ancestors, and you know, I'll be talking about like Yoruba and you know, Shango, Ochun, this, that. Then I'll get into gang banging, and I'll get into why I hate my mother so much. So I'm just
God damn.
yeah, whatever mental illness is
It comes out in the music.
yeah, whatever mental illness I'm dealing with that day,
Right.
that's what they gonna get.
Okay. All right. So, so how do you put? Everybody got their studio kit, what I like to call it, right?
Yeah.
Like they gotta have these things when they go up in the studio.
Yeah.
So for you, is there anything that you have to have? Is it certain alcohol or beverage or food or?
Definitely, I'm gonna need some weed for sure. That's without doubt. 8 times out of 10, I want a Red Bull, some weed, some Red Bull. That's about it, really, and I'll be on go. Yeah.
What's a studio session for you like? Because I was reading something the other day, and they were talking about how I think that was I was watching something. What's your boy name? Tyler the Creator.
Yeah.
And he talked about how he liked to get in the studio early in the morning, get that out the way, and then like be in bed by 9 o'clock.
Right.
And as somebody like me who originally came up in the music, like we always wanted to record late at night. You know what I'm saying? And record into the night.
Why is that?
I think that's just when the juices start flowing. And I think that's kind of like what we all heard, right? That's what we saw and we heard when we used to book studio time. Dudes wouldn't want to come in, you know, let us come in till like 9 o'clock at night or something like that. Like, and maybe it's because everybody worked during the day at that time.
I was just about to say,
You know
that.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe that was a thing, but we always thought that, you know, it was an all night thing.
Right.
What's your schedule like? You?
So it was different in the past when I was younger and I was signed, but now it's a lot different for me because I own a real production studio. You know what I mean? So we got a full production studio. We have, you know, 2 recording suites. So I get up early in the morning. I hit Bags, which is my manager, and he's also the CEO of the company that I'm a part of. Everybody thinks that I own the company, but I'm not. That's my name on the company. So I ended up. So let me get back to the. I get it. So I get up early in the morning, hit Bags up, make sure nobody got the studio booked. If nobody got the studio booked, then we'll just start playing with some beats. Occasionally, I like to do an overnighter, but now that I'm a little older, I just want to get all the music out the way, and then by like 3 o'clock, I'm getting to some money. So I just, whatever creative juices I got, I get them out the way early in the morning. And then if I'm not tired after I'm getting to some money, I'll do like a little overnighter, or I'll do like a night session, but I'll try to shut it down by like 10, 11 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When's your new project coming up?
So we got a single getting ready to drop, I think on the 19th. That's called Julio Story. So
Friday? This upcoming Friday?
Yeah. So that's just a single. That's not a single off the album that we're getting ready to drop. The album that we're getting ready to drop It's called Voodoo 4, and it's part of a collection of mixtapes that I've done in the past, a Voodoo series. So I got Voodoo 1 through 3. Those are mixtapes. But this is an album drop. So this one is going to be dope because it's the first time that I take the whole Voodoo series, anything that I do with Voodoo, and I put it out as an album. And we got some pretty good features for this one. The production is A1. The creative direction that we went into is literally a blend of New Orleans and New York culture. So it's a real nice blend, even blend of New Orleans and New York culture. So we got Kid. He's on the main single, which is Chango. I got 2 records with Kid on there. We got a record that we got cleared. We just got some stuff cleared by DMX. So we got this one record, the song is called Conjuring DMX. It's featuring my man Rico Savage. That one we had a lot of fun. It's like a rock song. So we were playing with different genres as well. So we got some rock and roll on it, like classic rock and roll on there. We got some stuff that we could categorize as blues and jazz based on the instruments that we used. I got my man Rico Savage on the tape. And then we got a bonus track. My good friend Fred the Godson, rest in peace, he did an acapella for me just right before he passed away. It was he just did it, for me as a gift. So I had that acapella. I never really did anything with it, and I didn't want to build a beat around it and then just mess it up. And I was waiting for the right time. I've been holding on to this for some years now. So so we got that acapella on there, and it was produced real nice. We got like some real dope African tribal sounds and some tribes, chanting some things in the background as he's like rapping the acapella. So.
And Fred was nice, man.
Fred, hands down to me, not being biased. I don't think there was too many people that could go bar for bar with Fred.
Yeah, he was tough. And I remember when I think he passed away from COVID, right?
COVID, correct.
Yeah, and it was crazy because I remember like at that time the initial post, like he posted a picture of him with like an oxygen mask on, and you know what I mean? And it's like he never came out of it. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was wild.
So you went straight from the music into like the music videos? Like, do you direct the music videos or you just produce it?
Yeah, so how that happened was I was in the music and then I lost my deal. I had a couple deals. I had 3 record deals altogether. So one of them was an indie deal and then 2 of them were major deals. And I kind of, fumbled the bag on those. But I was mad young. I didn't have nobody around me or anything like that. So I got into the family business after that because I fumbled.
Right.
Yeah, so I did what I seen every other successful man, and successful I mean in terms of finances, being able to take care of your family. Unfortunately, where I come from, like that only looks a certain kind of way.
Right.
So when I didn't get to, fully live out what I wanted to live out with the music because I had messed it up, I went back into the streets, and then that's how I ended up, on the road and moving around, putting 2 and 2 together, whatever.
Right.
So, but then I ended up getting into some trouble, things like that. So, but yeah, so I left the music alone for a while and just kind of tampered in that for a little bit. And then recently, I'm sitting down with my team, and because it's a whole team of us that owns this thing. You know what I mean? Like I started it, but it's a whole team of us that owns it and that's behind this thing. So I'm sitting down with them, and the whole time I'm, shooting videos and doing this. And so I got into the videos because I got into some trouble in the street and I couldn't get street money. So that's how I ended up doing videos. I had a dude that I used to manage, and I used to send him to go shoot videos. And then he did something real funny one day, but then he paid for it. You know what I mean? So
Allegedly.
no, ain't no allegedly. No, he ain't no allegedly. He gonna do the interview and tell y'all what happened.
Right.
Now, if he wants to do that interview on the den, we're more than.
Man, listen.
Nah, I'm playing him.
So he had took some footage of mine that was really important with dudes like Fred and just a whole bunch of stuff that I had from behind the scenes. Because I always documented my whole life since I was young, just always documented everything. You know what I mean? Like, I come from a family of real gangsters. Like, I'm talking about, like, you could Google them, you know what I mean? They've done books and movies about them and stuff like that. So I've seen, like I said, every successful man in my family, they came off a 27-year bid, wrote a book, did a documentary, this, that. So I'm like, man, if I'm gonna get caught up in these streets,
Yeah.
we're gonna make a movie. I got proof that I am who I say I am, and we gonna capitalize off of this, and we gonna get it back. Fortunate for me, it didn't ever, you know what I mean, have to go down there, whatever the case is. So I end up getting money like that, and then I get in trouble, and I had already had the fallout with that kid right around the same time that I had gotten into some trouble. So my wife, she told me at the time, she's like, man, look, you putting all these people on with cameras and everything, and you know how to shoot a little something yourself. Why you don't mess with the camera or whatnot? So I'm like, man, that's a good idea. And I had to put a little pride aside, you know what I mean? Because I didn't even have a camera at the time. And so she's like, do it with the iPhone. I'm like, man, what the fuck? I was like, pull it up on somebody with an iPhone, man, that's crazy. But I knew some people that were like, you know, semi-famous, and they had a nice following. So I'm like, yo, look, let me shoot this for you with the iPhone. I ain't gonna charge you anything. If it come out good, you use it. If it don't come out good, we're gonna smoke a blunt and laugh about it.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm gonna go back to what I know how to do. That's it. Man, it came out good. And then I went and did another one for somebody else that was really big. That came out good. And then I ran up 40 bands on an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then after I ran up 40 bands on an iPhone, I had ended up getting into a really bad car accident, and some other things happened, so it slowed some things down for me. But when I got the bread, we invested in cameras. We went and got what we needed to get. But the money started to slow down because I had got jammed up. So we had a little bit of money left over, about 6 bands. At the time, I had met Jamie. Jamie was doing work for Celebrity Boxing, and she did their website layout, graphic design, all that. So somebody that we both knew at the time had introduced her to me. And I looked at her one day, I'm like, man, look, you want to get a warehouse? She like, all right. Mind you, she don't know what my financial situation is. I'm literally down to like my last 6 bands.
Right.
All right, but I wear it good. You know what I mean? I know how to make it look good. And I got faith. So she's like, all right, yeah, let's do it. So we looking for a warehouse. I accidentally stumbled upon the one that I had right now, and I didn't even really have enough to move in. But the landlord, you know what I mean? Everything lined up, and he told them, he told the real estate people that I was dealing with, the agents, he was like, man, look, I like the kid. Just make it work. Whatever we got to do to make it work, get him in there. So they got me in there for a third of the price, you know what I mean? Like, of the upfront. Because,
Right.
you know, when you get in a business, it's the last month's rent, the first month's rent, the security deposit, all these other fees. They waived all of that. So I got up in there 3 years ago with Jamie, and then she was helping me turn it up, built the whole brand and everything. And then my man Bags, he's been my best friend out here since I moved out here. I've known him for like 7 years, 8 years now. I call him up. He's in Vegas at the time. He's doing some A&R work for a big label that I had plugged him in with at the time. I'm like, man, you need to get the fuck from that label. I need you over here.
Right.
we got our own shit now.
Yeah.
Like, I need you over here, brother. So he took everything that he learned from not just the label, but just from being in a fast-paced industry and environment in Las Vegas. He saw the chips that I had on the table and how she had lined up the chips, and then he was like, all right, look, this is where we got to put the chips now.
Right.
You know, he went ahead and structured the business, and we fortunate enough since he came and did that. You know, we started as a film company or as a content creation company, but now we got major distribution. We got a partnership with Vidya. He set that up. So we got HPS Distro, which he's the CEO and the founder of HPS Distro, and that's a direct partnership with Vidya. So so the splits are real nice. The deal is structured real nice. It's the same deal that Rock Nation got. Like we got the same distribution deal as Rock Nation. We just don't have as big of a platform as Rock Nation, but that's gonna change in due time with some more awareness.
So how did you come with the what was the inspiration behind the whole studio? Like, did you have a vision up front, or did you know you want to do something and you just kind of build that as you went?
Man, I'm a hustler, so I needed to get money, and I'm like, this is what I know right now. These are the only tools that I got, and I want to do it in a controlled environment because I done been shot at. I done, you know what I mean? I done been in situations where people are, you know what I mean, lose their life right in front of me. You know what I mean? So I said, if I'm gonna continue to do this, and if I'm gonna get a real bag doing it, that's why I had asked her, because I had slowed down. Like I said, I had slowed down. So I was living off a little accident money that I had, plus some other money. So I couldn't really move around like that anyway. But like I said, when I was down on my last, I'm like, man, this is all I really know. So it wasn't even a matter of was I passionate about film? Because I'm gonna be honest, I'm not. I'm not passionate about being a director at all. Like, I'm passionate about having a team and doing creative things. You know, creating content, whether it's music, whether it's film, whether it's content reels, photos. I'm just enthusiastic about art and creation. But videography, nah, that wasn't the end goal for me. I wasn't trying to be Spike Lee and none of that. Like, that wasn't it for me. But I'm glad that I put on the hat because I was able to share the information and knowledge with my team and then give that to somebody else. Now Jamie's the biggest director in the game. Now Jamie's shooting for the BGs, for the kids. She's getting the Cash Money contracts, you know what I mean? Shooting for On-Site Dita. And, you know what I mean? I'm just happy that I was in a place where I was able to, you know, shine the light and let somebody else, you know, take that, because I wasn't going to do anything with it. Right. It was a money grab for me, and it was just something that I was good at, but I never played anybody, so nobody could be mad that if a nigga got good weed, it's a money grab for him, and you going to keep coming back because you like what you getting, and that's what it was for me. I just made sure that I had desire for the low.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, you spoke about having faith. Do you realize how your story was divinely orchestrated?
Absolutely.
I was wondering when you were speaking, I was wondering if you get that.
No, yeah, I do. The story for sure, because it gets even deeper than that. Mm-hmm. I just didn't break it all the way down. So when I was on the road, we had stopped in Atlanta, and they know the story. I had said it in another interview. So we had stopped in Atlanta. And at the time, my practicing faith was Muslim. So I was Muslim at the time. And I hadn't really banged my head on the floor to pray, none of that, while I was on the road. And something just told me, man, you know, offer a prayer, man. Like, make a prayer. And because I had a lot on my mind, a lot on my heart. I had just beat that case, but I had some other things that was going on, and I didn't know how any of it was going to play out. And so I went and got a newspaper real quick, cleaned myself up, and I offered salat in the middle of an alleyway in Atlanta outside of a laundromat. And the thing that I prayed for was crazy because all my baby moms, they wild. Like, I got wild baby moms, man. Listen.
How many?
I got three baby moms. I got 8 kids. Damn. But I got my wife. She's not a baby mom, but I got children with four women. But
I was a little nervous when you started doing this. I was like, damn, he about to hit us. Yeah, he about to hit us with a number. Yeah.
I was gonna be like, that's 10 right there.
That's 10 right there. Like, yeah, he N.O for real now. Like.
So I get the praying about some things I'm dealing with, and I'm like, God, man, just send me a woman, man, like a companion, like a woman, not a girl, not no chick, not no bad bitch. Like, I need a woman. You know what I mean? Like. And somebody that's gonna understand me, and if it's not forever, it just could it be for right now? Because right now is when I need it the most. You know what I mean? And I knew what I needed for my healing at the time in order to evolve and step into what I wanted to step into. So I asked for those things in faith, and in blind faith, I asked for those things, and I knew I was gonna receive them. I just didn't know when. So I asked, I was like, you know, God, give me a woman that, you know, is of Muslim faith, you feel what I'm saying, but understands, you know, I got tattoos, I smoke, I'm not perfect, you know what I mean? Like, I'm still a man of God, you know what I mean? I'm still a man of faith, I'm still a righteous individual. I just make mistakes, you know what I mean? I'm still living in human flesh, you know what I mean? Brother. Absolutely, we're born in sin. But I need somebody that understands that, but that still walks in faith, You know what I mean? And understands faith and understands the power of God and understands the obedience of, you know, how to be obedient to God. You know what I mean? So I pray for all these things. And then, you know, New Orleans ends up in my prayer about like moving to New Orleans, but not actually finding the woman in New Orleans. But I could show y'all pictures. I've been coming to New Orleans since like 2014, getting into trouble. You know what I mean? In and out.
Right.
Getting into trouble. But so I'm praying on all these things. I kid you not, 2 weeks later, I meet that. And I told y'all earlier, she was the only one that I spoke to. That's why it was crazy for me, because it was like, man, I ain't speak to no woman this entire time, and the only one that I fixed my lips to even speak to meets the criteria
Of everything you were looking for.
Right. And I knew that at the moment because when I had asked her, like, oh, so what y'all got going on tonight? She was like, nah, we ain't doing nothing. Y'all want to come out and drink with us? And I was like, nah, I don't drink. I'm Muslim. You know what I mean? She was like, oh, I'm Muslim too. And boom, you know what I mean? And then we got into talking. My response was like, man, I couldn't tell you was Muslim. Out here, like,
Do you think you knew? You think you knew at that moment, or you think it took you a little time to realize that that's the one that you prayed for?
Nah, I knew at the moment that everything that rolls off my tongue, when I see it, I know it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just what it is. So like, yeah, like I knew it because I put it out there.
All right.
You know what I mean? It's not like it was something that I had to go find. Like, I attracted it. You know what I mean?
You know, one of the things that I like is that we're talking about our fate more, right?
Right.
Because I think for so long, like, we didn't think that people that had crazy fate looked like us.
Right.
Tatted up, still was fly,
Right.
still listen to different shit, you know. So I think it's important for the kids to know, like,
Absolutely.
look, we still love the man.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with exploring faith and having blind faith is also is very important, with just as much as you dive into that, to dive into your ancestors as well, because you could kind of get a little too lost in just one thing, and I feel like you kind of, especially for us, maybe not but for us, like, there needs to be a fine balance of culture, knowing where you come from, understanding, you know, your ancestors and where they come from, along with, you know, the journey of faith.
So how did you dive into the whole ancestral thing? What made you start looking into that?
I was born into it. So like my family, my grandmother, she practices I say ancient traditions, ancient tribal traditions, and she brought me and my brother up in that culture. It wasn't really a faith system for us. That's why I say, you know, to dive into the culture. For me, see, a lot of people confuse voodoo and Yoruba and all of these things as like a faith-based thing, but it's not a faith-based to me. I'm not going to speak for anybody else because I don't want to offend anybody, but my understanding is there's nothing higher than God, right? So you can never associate partners with God. God is the highest, the architect, you know what I mean, the Alpha, the Omega, the source, the light, everything. But you have these, when God created the Bible, right? Y'all familiar with the story of Genesis a little bit? Mm-hmm. When God created the Bible, he says everything in the universe bowed before Adam, right? So he's given Adam dominion over
Everything.
Over everything, right? Over everything. So when you understand how religion works and you just listen to the word of God, it's clear as day. Like, do whatever the fuck you want. Just make sure that you don't confuse nobody with me pimping. Right?
Right.
I'm him, and I will bat the piss out of anybody if y'all play with me. So with that being said, I'm like, you know, before these structured religions and churches and all these places popped up, our people were practicing certain things that connected them to God, to the earth, you know, to just our people or whatever the case is. So with understanding that, I understood that these things are also servants of God as well. You know what I mean? Like, they serve God the same way we do. They just on the other side of the fence with it. You know what I mean? Right. So I'll never confuse these things as something that I need to worship, or even something that I need to praise or anything like that, or look at higher than me, because I understand that God set everything in the universe prostrate before Adam. You feel what I'm saying? So these things are tools. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's all they are. Is like their tools are their like spiritual friends in another place. That as long as you understand you're bearing with God and you don't let these things play with you, because people will play with you. You think somebody your friend and they'll play with you. You know what I mean? They'll set you up, they'll line you up, or they'll, make you believe this or that. So I don't put it past the spirits or nothing either. And you know what I mean? But when you have knowledge of self and you're a little bit more enlightened, then you know how to keep them in check. And you're like, bitch, don't play with me. Like,
So my family dibbled and dabbled in voodoo too.
okay.
But I did not
Why you
know.
gonna make that face, huh?
I did not know.
Learn something new about people every day.
Every day. But I didn't know the evil side of voodoo
Right.
until I stepped outside of the realm of my family.
Right.
Because they taught us more of like on a spiritual level, like to respect the earth,
Right.
water, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But when I like started going out in the world for myself, that's just like, oh,
But
voodoo put spells on people. And stuff. I was like, I didn't never saw that.
So you know what it is? Like, it's just like anything else. It's not really a evil or a dark side of voodoo. That's just a dark side of people using this tool to do something dark. There can never be a dark side to that thing. A gun is a neutral tool. Somebody could kill somebody with it, or somebody could go do
Protect
target
somebody.
practice, or it's what you use it. So there's not even a good side or a bad side to a gun. It's a neutral, cold steel tool. Now what you do with it is gonna be a determining factor for a negative or positive situation. So, but that's just my opinion, though.
No, I agree. I totally agree.
Because I hate how they try to put a negative, any kind of negative light on, our people's thing. Because, and I think the reason why they do that is because of the Haitian Revolution. You know what I mean? Them Haitians went and freed themselves from them people. They were the first ones to free themselves. And, it was said that they were in tune or tapped into certain things. And when them colonizers didn't understand what that was, they put the devil on it. And they were the ones who came up with the phrase voodoo. It wasn't that our people didn't come up with that word. They came up with that word. And that word is supposed to be a derogatory term for, our people's culture and the power that it holds. So, yeah.
And that's deep. So how do your faith and your religious beliefs lead through your music?
I always put it in. So like I got my single out right now is Chango. That's one of the African deities. That's the one that I associate with the most. That's the African god of thunder, lightning, and fire. He was a king. He was a ruler. So when you start to understand, the backstory of some of these deities, you start to find similarities within yourself, and then you could kind of like just throw those things into whatever it is you do, music, art, this, that, whatever. You start to associate them. Beyonce did it with that album, all that lemon stuff and all of that.
Oshun,
yeah,
right?
That's Oshun. Yeah, yep. The water and all that.
Oshun?
Oshun is the African deity. Her name is Oshun. She's the goddess of water, rivers, and things of that nature. So that Beyonce portrays her a lot and puts her stuff in the music a lot.
I don't know if recently you saw Solange had an altar. It was all on social media, and that's who the altar was for.
Yeah, for Oshun. Yeah.
I'm gonna lighten up the mood a little bit because they look a little nervous.
Nah, I'm loving it. I'm like, this shit I don't know.
It's a little bit like once you say voodoo, I was like, okay, like,
Listen.
I feel something in my back. No, so since we there,
Yeah.
do y'all believe in that? And
what?
like the dolls, is like that a real
Not
belief?
anything you put power in, you're gonna see results out of.
I guess or no. Like I'm trying.
This nigga right here, man, you got
Because
Hollywood,
like,
listen. You gonna have to answer him, though, because he ain't gonna stop.
nah, because I'm looking at him, he answering. I'm like,
I believe
okay.
there's more power in the tongue
Yeah,
than that doll.
yeah.
Fuck that.
Y'all still answer my question.
That's the easy shit to tell the audience. Fuck
I
that.
saw Tales from the Hood.
No, look. If you don't know what you're doing and you playing with that doll, you ain't gonna do nothing. But if you a heavy manifester, it ain't really got much to do with no spells, man. Ain't no really hocus pocus, nothing like that. When the Bible say thou shalt not curse, they ain't not talking about the word fuck. They mean, I hope that nigga there trip. That's a curse. That's a spell. And if I have a lot of passion behind me saying that shit and that motherfucker trip, then that curse was real. That spell was real.
That's a little deep for me.
It's
Lighten the mood. It's time to lighten the mood now.
You can come back and we can have this conversation.
But you see what tends to happen, right, y'all? Like this conversation we having right here, it won't be on camera. But as soon as we say cut and we sit out here chilling, these are the kind of conversations.
The behind the scenes
like,
stuff always the best conversation.
What nobody want to talk about.
Right.
Fuck,
But
I
I'm
want to
sure
talk
you
about
can-
voodoo. What the fuck?
Yeah.
But I'm sure you can speak to that too. Probably your behind the scenes is the best footage sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because we have people that come here do an hour, and then have to sit here for another 30 minutes just chopping it up.
Just
the cameras off.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? But they get more comfortable after the show.
Yeah, you're supposed to do that during the show. That's the show.
Facts.
Yeah.
So lighten the mood.
Let me lighten the mood. You mentioned Lil Baby a couple of times when we first begun. We have Lil Baby's #1 fan sitting.
They always fuck with me.
Oh yeah.
I told him like I was never into the young music, right?
Yeah.
And I watched a documentary on him on Netflix, and I was like, yo, I'm hooked. After that, I went listen to all his music. Ain't nobody fucking with him, bro.
Nah,
ain't nobody touching him right now. That's my opinion.
But when you say that, do you mean lyrically?
Listen to what the motherfucker is saying, bro.
What are you saying?
he all right.
Everything.
See what I'm saying?
Okay,
See,
listen, James.
This is what I'm saying.
Hold on.
You can't have that conversation with me and say, listen what he's saying. Okay, tell me what he's saying. Like,
for you, right?
For me, right?
It'd be like everything. Some people might rap about shit they never did or never had, right? Everything in this nigga's song is what the nigga done.
You saw it?
To a T. It's documented on his documentary, bro.
That's different.
Like the nigga started rapping overnight, son. And the money he making from rap right now, he was making that in the streets, easy.
And he documented all of it.
Go watch it. I keep telling you.
It's a different era. It's a different time.
It's a different
He
time.
listen. He didn't document the shit, but you can pick sense out of nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta put two and two together.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I was around them dudes in the beginning. I'm not gonna say he was making as much as he making now, but he
was good.
He touched some real money before the deal. I give him that for sure. Like he definitely did. While everybody was like play with the money, like he definitely touched the big boy bag. Like it was a choice to go do music because he definitely did touch some money.
So we have a ongoing debate in the den about Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Do you think Lil Wayne is a storyteller?
What, like a liar?
No, like tell stories. Like
I think he can. Yeah.
he can, right? But is he? Would you consider him?
No,
a
that's
storyteller?
not. I wouldn't say that's his like. What Wayne? What Wayne are we talking about?
See,
There's mixtape Wayne. There's rock and roll Wayne. Then there's album Wayne.
we got the clips. The clips tell stories.
There's pre Carter 3 Wayne. You know what I mean? Then
But
there's
Man,
post
I
Carter
don't
3
care
Wayne.
what Wayne we talking about. We can talk about Lights
'cause
Out, The Block is Hot.
New Orleans Nightmare Wayne told stories.
What New Orleans? Oh, that's a mixtape.
Yeah. So and the drought. I feel like during that era,
That was the
drought,
best Wayne ever, right there.
Yeah, so that's around the same era. So yeah, New Orleans Nightmare, the drought, that's all right around the same era. So I felt like he told stories around them, but I wouldn't say that's his overall jacket.
Who do you think he told stories for?
For the community, for like where he came from.
I just proved my point.
You didn't.
You got it. Yeah. You should got
But
it.
that's what everybody tells stories for. Like
But
hood dudes don't tell
we
stories for
compare him
corporate
to, like-
America.
Nah.
Right. That's who everybody tells stories for. They community. They
Yeah,
hood.
we play.
So my argument was, when they say storytellers, they comparing Wayne to storytelling like Ice Cube.
Right.
But my thing was,
I ain't never compared.
no,
to
but
Ice Cube.
I'm saying Ice Cube
I said
told
Jay-Z.
Ice Cube told the story for a LA nigga.
Right.
Wayne tells the story for us.
Right.
So if you ask the hood nigga, Wayne is telling their story.
Right.
And they was arguing me down.
Wayne ain't telling this.
He's not telling the story.
What do the average hood nigga do?
The average hood nigga
Bro,
can't
first
afford
of all,
weed.
What do they do?
First of all, they don't sleep with 7 women in one day.
Some of them do.
Not the average. You said some. You said the average.
You said the average.
I
hood
think
nigga.
Right.
we know the same people.
Okay, see?
Yeah.
and that's what we always talk about though. But that's the difference.
No,
That's
listen.
the difference.
I came up in rap.
Yeah.
I came up as a rapper. I have a distinct depiction of what a storyteller is.
Like a Nas or something.
Exactly.
That's a storyteller.
That's what we compared him
We
to.
not. I'm not saying he's never told a story.
Right.
I'm just saying when you say storyteller to me, to somebody like me, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so he could I believe he could tell a story. I've heard him tell a story. Mona Lisa is one of his fire. But I think yeah, he could definitely tell a story, but he's not I wouldn't categorize him as like a storyteller.
That's all I'm saying.
But he could definitely jump in that lane for sure with the best of them. But I don't think that's the jacket that he wants to wear either. I think the jacket that he wears is versatility. I don't think that we will ever see another artist during this era as versatile and influential at the same time as Wayne. Because you could be influential to one niche and one audience. Man, this dude is so versatile and has been influential in every single lane that he has stepped in.
Y'all ain't seen what's happening now. NBA YoungBoy taking over the fucking world.
Brother, I ain't seen. Listen, I respect it. Look, I do. When NBA YoungBoy got these motherfuckers out here on skateboards with skinny jeans, then I'm ready to have that conversation. He's big. He's big.
No, but listen to me, Hollywood. Like, it got niggas in his show on
Nah, I
their
seen
knees
it.
crying.
Nah, I seen
Like,
it.
what the fuck going
I
on?
see-
Wait. What?
You heard me?
I seen it.
Grown
But
man?
this is also a very
The
different
youngest.
generation.
Yeah, but you see,
No, listen. I understand why they crying. They're very in tune to their emotions. They talk about shit. We grew up tough. We was hard.
Yeah.
We was on that gangster shit. We wasn't going to no concert and fucking cry.
The fuck you crying for?
And right, you know. But they feel that shit. That's pain music for them. Like, they relate to that. So I understand why they crying. It's what's the other guy who do the shows where all the kids crying? He just went on tour. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
Rob Wade?
Rod Wade.
Oh, okay.
All them kids crying at that shit.
Yeah.
I
For
think,
what?
But that's because Rod Wave got a soft audience. Young Boy is more personal, like, yeah, but Rod Wave, they supposed to cry to Rod Wave.
I
They
feel like
soft,
that's some
like,
suicidal
they
shit.
are-
What we
about
crying
you
about?
listening to that?
Yo,
They
I guess
soft,
the lyrics.
brother.
I guess
Yeah.
the lyrics, bro.
They look.
It's pain music. It's pain.
You know why I'm coming at Rod Wave? This is the first time I'm ever gonna say this. You know why I'm coming at Rod Wave? His audience is soft. He's soft. Everything about Rod, all of that is
Oh,
soft.
shit.
The motherfucker stole a song from me, dog.
Oh.
I never put it out, but I got the proof. Like, I got the real proof. And 3 other big people, but I ain't ready to take shots at them yet. One of them I'll never even put out there because he's too big for me to even play with
The
like that.
views
Let's
of
ain't
our
nobody
guests.
watching. Just look into that camera when you
Nah,
say
I'm
that.
gonna show y'all though when we off the air because the
See?
one thing you can't. The
There
one,
we
Be real. Coming
There we
soon.
go.
Coming soon.
The behind the
one-
scenes
the one
always
thing-
the best stuff.
the one thing you can't ever dispute and lie about is timestamps and dates.
Facts.
Exactly.
Timestamps and dates is going to determine who's lying and who's not. So Rod Wave got this song called Rockstar. The motherfucker took my hook verbatim, word for word, my tone, everything.
Didn't he do the same thing with Boosie?
He did it with a bunch of them, but I was actually flattered. I was like, oh shit, bitch, I'm a rapper, huh?
Right,
Like,
right.
I got robbed with the greats. Like,
Right.
yeah. But yeah, he got me. He got me for sure.
And
So,
that's a big part of the music industry, dog.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
throughout history, Bone Crusher.
then the thing that kills me is when I did it on a mixtape when I was on a label. So I did it to a commercial beat. So it ain't even like I could really do anything but say I did it first.
Right.
Because I didn't even own the rights to use the fucking beat that I did it on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he took it, ran with it, put it on an original beat. But if you listen to them side by side, he didn't change the words at all, and kept the same way I did it. Like,
That's like Bone. Y'all heard that about Bone Crusher, Never Scared.
yeah,
That was those
That was
other
somebody
dudes.
else's shit?
Yeah. Not only was it they shit, he was featured on the song, and he took it and released it and just took them off it. Yeah.
y'all ever heard of the dude Hobson?
Yeah.
Man, so
That's the dude who used to do the eyes.
So I'm not gonna talk crazy about Hobson too bad, right? But this is crazy because I'm at the time when I had my deal, I had a record that was spinning that got me my deal called Witch Doctor, right? So I had really, we did that just playing around. It wasn't even meant to be like, and I ended up getting a deal by it, right? So 2 people jacked me for that record. I'm not gonna say who the big person is, but Hobson stole some of that record from me too. So the record was so hot in New York when I dropped that record that 2 really big people stole the shit from me. But they didn't go with the move into 2 years later. They waited to see what the record was gonna do. I declined because I was in the streets. So the record ended up not doing anything. And then it's like a year, maybe a year and some change. I ain't put out no music. And I'm like in and out of court, this, that. So they probably like, man, this dude fried. Like he died. And they stole my shit. So Hobson stole, I got a record called The Witch Doctor. If you go look at my video, Witch Doctor, go look at Hobson. 2 years later, you're gonna put out a song called Witch Doctor. And then you're gonna paint your face in the video how I did. But they had a bigger budget, so he could try to lie and be like, oh, no, bitch, you took my shit and you just had a little bit more money, nigga, because you knew.
That's how it go, though. That's
yeah. But we not going to sit here and act like I don't know you took my shit. Like, you took my shit. You know what I mean? So,
That's how it go.
Him
The
and
big
Rod
dog,
Wave.
Big dog robbed the little dog, but the big dog got the influence, got the budget, got
Nah,
all
I
the,
gave it to them. All they had to do was ask. I'd have gave it to them. I played nice.
for a fee, right?
Yeah.
So look, Hollywood, right? One of your music videos, like, what's one of the biggest ones you worked on?
Like that I directed or that I was in.
That had anything to do, like, part of?
Vulture Island. Vulture Island was probably one of the biggest projects I worked on.
That's Rob 49.
Yeah, that
who
was
that is,
Rob
nigga.
49. Rob 49 and Lil Baby. Lil Baby.
Little
Yeah.
baby. In the city.
Yeah, so that was a real big one that I worked on. And then I worked on Hustle with Kevin Gates and Rob 49. I had a lot of fun with that one. And it might not be the biggest to people that don't understand the culture of the artist that I'm about to mention, but it was probably, for me and the culture that I come from, it was one of the biggest videos that I could work on, was with Compton Menace. I shot a video in LA with Compton Menace, and you can't just go through Bompton like doing whatever, you know what I mean? So I was very, very fortunate enough to get with Compton Menace, real good friend of mine. I'm actually working on a project for him right now. They just flew over the files and stuff like that, so I got to put some stuff together for him. But yeah, he invited me out to the West Coast. He saw some work that I had did for Leak Moss and for somebody else that was signed to his label at the time. And they flew me out to LA, and he introduced me to every big gangster out there. They were having a cookout. I got to eat in the projects, eat some food, but then they pulled out the old schools. And I'm talking about like some nice old school. And that's why it was like a really big video for me, because like everything you saw in those videos back in the day that we grew up watching, the Low Riders, the candy paint, just all that stuff, I got to firsthand experience it myself for the first time and be the director and get to call the shots and say, hey, pull out the red drop top, hit the hydraulics, do this. So it was just a surreal moment for me growing up in gang culture and knowing who Compton Menace is, to gang culture and to just West Coast hip hop culture, period. Like, that's the dude that a lot of people could say he's responsible for, making sure Chris Brown is straight. You feel what I'm saying? That's the dude who, the reason why Soldier Boy could talk how he talk. You feel what I'm saying? Like this the dude really behind a lot of serious things in LA. So the fact that he, rolled out the red carpet for me, invited me into his hometown, introduced me to some real solid people, and we made a movie. I'll send y'all the link to the video. The video was fire, and he got Tupac sampled for the record. So that's why it was another big project for me, because I was like, damn, I'm about to have credit on a Pac, clear, like on a Pac sample cleared by the labels and everything. You know what I mean? Cleared by Pac's people and everything. So that's kind of dope. You know what I mean?
So look, on the show, as usual, we always got a segment, right?
Yeah.
It's called your top 5. So what it is, name your top 5 artists. Don't matter the genre.
Okay.
Number 1 being your top, and number 5 being number 5.
Top 5 artists. I'm gonna say me, number 1. Man, it don't matter old, dead, alive, none of that matters. Man, I be in moods, man. I got so many, like, I be so bipolar, I be in moods. So I'm gonna just, Roddy Ricch for sure. I'm gonna say me, Roddy Ricch, Burna Boy. Definitely like Burna Boy. Recently, I never been into Spanish music in my life, ever in life, because I don't even speak Spanish. I'm a trench baby. I grew up in the projects, but I've been listening to Bad Bunny, so that way I could kind of get into with my culture a little bit. I ain't never been to Puerto Rico. I'm gonna be 40 years old. I ain't never been to Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Like, so I've been listening to Bad Bunny. A friend of mine, he's gonna write a Spanish album for me. So I've been, listening to a lot of old school Spanish music and stuff like that. Just kind of get get in tune. So I say Bad Bunny, and then last, as of right now, who I listen to a lot when we driving. Doug, yeah. You ain't even lying. You ain't even lying. King Slime. That's
Spider.
man, you're not even lying.
How you understand what that motherfucker
I don't
saying
even-
from NY?
so-
So you from NY? How you understand?
Yo,
what
you
the
can
motherfucker
ask her
saying,
word
bro?
for word. But look,
Yeah.
you think my mind shut that down because of what's going on? Because I should have said Thug, because I really do listen to Thug.
And you left out
crazy.
Mace.
I don't listen to Mace anymore.
Nah?
No. There might be a time where I go back to it, but you know what I mean. But as of right now, nah. This ain't gonna be my top 5 6 months from now.
Facts.
6 months from now, that shit gonna change. Yeah.
So before we get out here, we want you to shout out your team. 2 of them are here.
Yeah. Shout out to my manager, my partner, and my friend, J Bags, also known as Darius Jackson, also known as Mr. Cut the Check. He been running me up some feature money. That boy been getting me the feature bag. I ain't gonna lie, man. We been running it up with the features. And I also want to give a major shout out to my best friend Jamie. She's also my business partner. She's the one who built the entire brand. So like down to the logos, the color schemes, how the colors make you feel, this, that, every single thing down to the science. She put all that together. And then she stepped up to the plate, you know what I mean? Didn't know how to direct videos, didn't know how to do any of that, but saw that I was overwhelmed and I was carrying it on my own. And she learned how to do everything. Like I was on tour and I had 67 videos, dog, that had to get edited. And I couldn't get to them. I came back a week later, she had 67 videos done and edited, sent out to the clients.
Damn.
67 fucking videos, dog. That's why I be looking at these dudes like, man, shut up. I ain't no excuses. There ain't no excuses at all.
2 weeks to get you back some shit.
For real. 67 videos in a week and some change. Don't y'all be hitting me up asking for us to do that, though. Like, we not doing none of that. We ain't doing none of that. Want to give a shout out to my man Hollywood Mayo. He's from Maine. He just recently moved down here. He runs all of our mic drops. So anything with the mic trend, the red mic, the white mic, the in the neighborhood, all that stuff. Those are his platforms. He runs all of those. They're distributed by the company, but he runs all of those platforms. And just a big shout out to the whole team Hollywood. Shout out to my wife, my son, my brother Jeremy, and that's really it, man. You know what I mean?
Where is the studio? If you want to let the people out there know, there's a website, anything, your
so
information.
The studio is there's this dark alley right by Cafe Dumont. It's this real dark alley. There's a crackhead that be on the corner with the sign. You're gonna go down that alley, and where it starts to get real dark and darker, you're gonna make a left. Nah, I'm fucking around. Yeah,
I'm trying to picture the crackhead.
we in Kenner. We in Kenner, 2844 Sharon Street. Or you just Google Hollywood Pompeii Studios, put it in the GPS, it's gonna take you straight there. We also have service, you know what I mean? So they will come pick you up. So if there ain't no excuse, like we'll come pick you up, drop you off at your door. If you can't get to the studio, we'll bring the studio to you. We have a mobile service as well. And we'll deliver the studio, set it up for you. You can rent it for a few days, get your work done. We give you the computer with it, all the tools that you need.
Damn.
Yeah, and we got the lowest prices in the country. Not even the state, like in the country. Ain't nowhere you getting studio time, $15 an hour. You getting music videos for $15 an hour.
Man, watch out.
Studio time. That's without an engineer, but we're going to show you how to sauce it up. If you want one of our engineers, just pay a couple dollars. You know what I mean? But yeah, $15 an hour. You get a 10-hour block for $100. You get a
Damn.
Yeah.
I'm about to start rapping. I'm about to start rapping
Damn,
again.
man. Look, this is what I'm saying. Look, a music video for $100, 2 scenes, special effects, lights, thousands of dollars worth of equipment and production.
Hey, bro, where were y'all in like 2002?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So all those mic trends that they be charging hundreds of dollars for, you come to us, we do a white mic for $25, red mic for $50. You feel what I'm saying?
What's that?
That's the the little drop mic series that everybody be doing with a mic. Yeah, so we got those for the low. We got them lower than anybody in the world, to be honest with you. You feel what I'm saying? Like everything we do, it's all quality and it's for the low. Our distribution program, we know a lot of people can't afford quality distribution. Bags has a free distribution program for artists that can't afford major distribution, where we get our cut on the back end. You feel what I'm saying? And they'll get a nice cut on the front end. I think it's an 85-15 split or something like that.
Oh, nice.
85 them, 15 us. Free major distribution on every major platform powered by Video. You're not gonna get that anywhere. And you can walk into the office and sign up and get that. Photo shoots for $25. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Word.
so yeah, there's no excuse. I mean, if you want it, we got it. And like I said, we got it for the low. So
What's the Instagram? Tell me the Instagram.
Instagram is Hollywood Pompeii Studios with an underscore. And
Spell it Pompey.
that's Pompei, Hollywood Pompeii. Yeah, but as soon as you type in the POMP, I'm popping. You know what I mean? The blue check going, you know what I mean? And you just throw studios next to that name, and yeah, you lit. That's the team right there. That's the gang.
Look, at this point, I feel like I'm part of the team. Shout out the podcast.
Yeah, shit. I appreciate the Den for having me. I really
Facts,
yeah.
man.
No, y'all podcast.
Oh yeah. So we just we got a podcast that we just started. It's called Unscripted. And really what it is it's just us, a way for us to vent and build more of a personal bond with our clients. So it's not really necessarily for outsiders, so to say. It's kind of for the people that we are mingling with on a regular, or if you have like an exceptional story, you know what I mean? Like you got hit by 3 trains, struck by lightning, and Santa brought you a gift on Sunday. I need to know about that, and I want the details, and we gonna monetize the fuck out of it.
Right. Man, I got hit by a train on the way over here, dog. I'll tell you all about it later.
That's why we was late.
Yeah, that's why we was late.
Man, that's crazy. You gotta come on the podcast, man.
Done.
Yeah, we gotta set it up with Mayo. You gotta get on there.
Done. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all.
The
Thank
team
y'all
for
having
coming
me.
through, man.
Absolutely.
Been a great show. Grind Day, take us out.
Thank you again for coming.
I appreciate it.
Please like, subscribe, share, and we'll see y'all next week.
That was soft, bro.
Soft.
That was soft.
What y'all want me to say?
This is
My
the
nigga,
end of
that was
season
like,
one.
subscribe.